Sahna Vavtu Sahna Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So we are starting chapter 9 today. And this is, it's like a continuation of almost chapter 7, some people believe. Because in 8, Krishna Bhagwan was answering questions of Arjuna. And this is Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Yogo Nama Navmodhyaya. That's what it is. So some people classify that yoga into 4 also. We know that we have 3, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. And some people call it Raja Yoga also. So the Raja word, it has come from here also, royal, highest. And we'll see how when we come to that verse number 2, he talks about royal knowledge, why it's called royal knowledge, Rajavidya. So here is the verse. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Atha Navamodhyayah Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam Pravakshyami anasuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yajnatva Mokshase Shubhat. Idam is this. So he's talking about that knowledge. Tu is indeed. Definitely I'm saying this. Te is to thee, to you. Guhya tamam. So this is a very important word. It's a greatest secret. And we are going to learn what it means by the word secret, because some people get confused why Bhagwan called it a secret, and they might take it in a wrong way. So we'll see. Pravakshyami. So actually the word is vakshami, but pra uske aage laga do to bada strong word ho jata hai. Shall declare, but completely I will declare, fully. Complete enthusiasm and a complete knowledge. So that's where that pra word comes. Anasuyave. This is also a very interesting word. The one who does not cavil or carp. And that word, if you see the dictionary meaning of the word cavil, trivial and annoying objection, irritating and trivial objection of some subject or any kind of concept. So that is not doing that is called anasuyave. Not unnecessarily finding faults in something. That's what it is. Jnana, knowledge, we know. Vijnana, this word has been introduced here. It was introduced in chapter 7 also. I take it back. So here 2 times Vijnana Sahitam. So Vijnan yahan par combined with experience. So that's the meaning in Sanskrit of Vijnan, because hum log Vijnan science ko bolte hai, but science mein bhi wahi hota hai ki hey, where is the proof, they will say. Hey, how do you know this? So here it's even one step deeper, that you have to have experience. Then you will be completely convinced of something. Otherwise you're not going to be. It's just a dream until then. Yat is which, gnatva, having known. Moksha se, you shall be free. So the moksha word to humne bahut suna hai. So actual meaning of word is freedom, complete freedom. But yahan par freedom from what? Ashubhat, from evil. And we'll see why Krishna Bhagwan said that. Evil. So these are the words. And so in this verse, what Bhagwan is saying, so as I said, that in this chapter, some people believe it's a continuation of chapter 7, because he started talking about who Bhagwan is and the relationship of Bhagwan and the world and Arjuna and many things in here. And this chapter is loaded with like the most amazing verses. And when we come to it, you will realize that how amazing these verses are. So he says over here, hey Arjun, I'm going to again reveal to you. उन्होंने ये already बता दिया है ये ज्ञान, मगर उसको और खोल के बता रहे हैं अभी. As I said, that as we go to these chapters, Bhagwan is going to go deeper and deeper into the subject, so that it really helps us to go to the experience of it. That's the whole idea. And he calls it the topmost secret. You know, it's not the secret, shh, don't tell somebody. That's not the meaning over here. Because, firstly, let's look at the word guhyatam. So, how Nikhilananji explained that it's a superlative degree, you know, because एक होता है गुह्य, एक होता है गुह्यतर, और एक होता है गुह्यतम. So guhya means secret, guhyatar means more secret, and guhyatam means most, सबसे ज़्यादा secret. So it's saying दुनिया में जब होता है ना कि secret, so there are worldly secrets होता है कि we keep it to ourselves something, you know, उसको secret बोलेंगे, or you tell somebody in a private, you know, that will be considered a secret, किसी को बताना मत. And there is a joke, बोले कि अगर दुनिया में कि कोई भी बात फैलानी हो ना तो जाके किसी को बोलो, किसी को मत बोलना, मैं एक सीक्रेट बात बता रही हूँ. फिर वो एक और जन को बोलेगा, ओ मैं सीक्रेट, दुनिया में सब फैल जाएगा. That's just a joke. Anyway, so you know what I'm talking about, a secret. So he's not talking about a worldly secret here. Very special meaning is over here. So what is the meaning is that ये ज्ञान ऐसा है, पहले तो it is with us because self is always with us, but it still remains a secret to us, right? It's like that consciousness is within us in our cave of our heart, but we have such a hard time reaching it, understanding it, experiencing it from that perspective. It's a secret. And so here Bhagwan is calling this a secret because he's going to reveal the nature of our identity with that self and our relationship with God. And Nikhilananji was saying that the reason Bhagwan was calling it a secret, because the beauty of this particular secret is कि अगर किसी को बता भी दो ना, उसको समझ में नहीं आएगा, वो secret ही रहेगा. In many cases, you know, takes a long time to sink in कि भाई है क्या चीज़, इसके लिए उसको ऐसा secret बोला है. And भगवान, Nikhilananji also said कि अगर सभी को पता हो तो उसको secret थोड़ी बोलेंगे. So ये जो रिलेशनशिप है ना भगवान का हमारे साथ और दुनिया के साथ, वो बहुत कम लोगों को पता होता है, इसके लिए उसको ऐसा सीक्रेट बोला है. And then and obviously that even if you tell, people may not understand it completely, they might even understand it wrong, you know, about it. So it still remains, from all perspective, it kind of remains a secret. So, but how does it become non-secret for us? That we understand slowly and steadily. When we follow the path shown by Krishna Bhagwan in all these chapters, he told us what to do, starting with Karma Yoga. Finally, we gain that state of enlightenment, and then that secret is revealed to us completely. You know, वो खुल जाता है secret. That's how we have to look at the secret. So because that's when we get the experience. So जब तक experience नहीं मिलेगा, वो पूरी तरह खुलेगा नहीं secret. So, you know, Nikhilananji, he gave a beautiful worldly example, and then we'll understand once we hear this example. What did he mean by this secret? So he said that suppose there is a king. And this actually happened with Raja Janak, but hypothetically, a king who has everything. And now he's went to sleep and he dreams that he's a beggar. He has nothing, right? He's begging at the corner of a street. So now this is a hypothetical example. Huh? So a realized master comes in his dream and he says, I'm going to tell you a secret. You are actually not a beggar. You are a king. वो मानेगा नहीं उसकी बात. क्यों नहीं मानेगा? Because उसका experience कुछ और है. Right now at this state, in his dream, his experience is, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I don't have any money. And you're telling me I'm a king? You must, you're lying. I cannot be a king. Why am I feeling hungry then? Or why I have nothing in my pocket and, I have to beg in this corner. So that's what happens. But suppose he looks at this master and he said, this guy looks pretty genuine and I should have some faith. If he's telling me, shayad sachi hoga. And so he believes him, and then he follows a path showed by him, and by following that path, he wakes up. This Raja, this king, when he wakes up, suddenly he realizes, he was telling the truth. I am a king. I have everything. I don't need to beg. So he's saying this. Suddenly he realizes that once he wakes up. So now he understands what he was saying because he experienced it So that's how this we have to say this secret. So what Nikhilanandji was saying, this secret that Bhagwan is talking about in this chapter will also remain a secret to us until we wake up to that higher reality. That's how we have to look at this. And so he was calling it a master secret. Master key jaise hoti hai na. So he's saying that, and then what happens is, suppose in that example, that when he will wake up, then he will tell others who are dreaming, hey, they may have believed him or not, but that's what these masters are doing, that they woke up to this reality, and now they're saying, hey, we are that consciousness. Now they're trying to tell other people who are still dreaming, hey, don't worry about it, that. So until we wake up, until we believe, it's going to remain a secret. From that perspective, it's a secret. So if you have to translate into this language, so this is a secret of our own self and our identity with that Supreme God. That's what he's calling it, a secret. And then how he describes this knowledge. So this knowledge is Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. So it's a very special knowledge, not like any other ordinary knowledge. So he will say, I will reveal to you this Jnana, which is, he's talking about Brahma Jnana, not like worldly Jnana. And Pravakshami, I explained that word, that very completely, in Sanskrit they call it Prako Prakarshena Vakshami, means ekdam, very nicely I'm going to tell you, completely. I'm not going to hold back anything, And why I'm going to tell you? Because you are Ansuyave. Ansuyave is that it's a wonderful quality to have this. And there is one, एक ऋषि की पत्नी का नाम भी अनसुया है, right? अपने शास्त्रों में वो यहीं से आया है word की, the one who doesn't see faults in others. So because you don't see dosh, So what Nikhilanandji was explaining, कि जो गुण में भी दोष देखता है ना, उसको असूया बोलते हैं, एंड लेकिन जो अनसूया है वो दोष नहीं देखता, एंड वी नो दैट कोई भी बहुत अच्छी भी चीज़ होती है ना, वेरी गुड थिंग, किसी को बताओ तो वो बोलेगा हाँ लेकिन इसमें ये प्रॉब्लम है. 100 अच्छी चीज़ें होंगी, वो नहीं देखेगा, एक के पीछे पड़ जाएगा. हाउ द न्यूज़ में भी ऐसा ही होता है. सम medicine will be very, very good, some natural product, and there will be 100 things, and then they will take out one fault, and that will make such a big news, and everybody will start believing and drop it. So something like that. So he was just saying, Nikhilanandji, that if you have this quality of always picking small faults, at least in the path of spirituality, you will be a failure. You will not be able to go forward. Even in worldly sense, we know. So he's saying that so here, where will somebody find fault in it? In the path that Krishna Bhagavan is showing, they can start finding faults in it, and then it becomes very difficult to proceed. So he was just saying that किसी को कोई अच्छी बात बोलो ना, तो वो बोलेगा हाँ but, हाँ लेकिन. So जैसे ही but बोला ना, सब कुछ निगेट कर दिया, सब कट कर दिया. So like some people will say, हाँ गीता में बहुत अच्छा बताया है, लेकिन, लेकिन, then he is not going to go forward. So he was just saying that that this is what Arjun was opposite of. He wanted to learn and he did not find faults. और उसको कुछ चीज समझ में नहीं भी आई ना, तो उसने अपने डाउट को क्लियर करने के लिए क्वेश्चन पूछा, not to negate something. That's what it is. So Swamiji was just saying further about the Geeta and all that, say that you try to teach them Geeta and they will say, हाँ, it is possible for Arjun to do all those things, but I have to go to work and I have to do this meeting and I have this problem and all, मेरे से नहीं होगा, So he's saying that the moment you have that attitude, तुम जो negative attitude है ना, वैसा ही experience होएगा तुम्हारा. He's saying that's the psychology. Because if you go with a premise that, hey, this is not going to work, like, Hindi में बोलते हैं ना, मेरे से तो नहीं होगा बाबा ये काम, so बोलेगा नहीं होगा बाबा फिर तो, That's what he was saying. This is how the psychology works, okay? So that's why one should have an open mind. With Bhagwan, what Bhagwan is saying, we have a very open mind because he's telling us this simple path, beautiful path, revealing it in this chapter, and we should just pay attention and try to follow. And once we follow that path, then we will gain that experience in state of enlightenment. So we have to have faith in these words and all that. So this is what this word means. Okay, the next thing is Jnanam and Vijnanam. So how Bhagwan is going to explain to him? So he's saying, I'm going to say Jnana with Vijnana Sahitam. And these words have come in chapter 7 also. वहाँ पर उन्होंने बोला है कि if once I tell you this Jnana with Vijnanam, there is nothing more to be known. That's what he said. और यहाँ पर बोला है कि once I tell you this, after knowing this, you will become free from Ashubhat. Ashubhat is all the evil or all the negative things in the world, you will become free from it. That's what it is. So both the things are very important. So that means in English language, if you have to translate it, we'll say that I'll tell you the theory and I will tell you how to experience it directly also by yourself. Not somebody else's experience, but you have to experience it yourself. So the entire theory, complete understanding, and the path. That's why it's called Brahma Vidya and Yoga Shastra. I'm going to tell you the knowledge, and Yoga Shastra is how to get there. And, we already discussed that Vigyan is Anubhav, direct experience. So because he was just saying just theoretically understanding anything is not going to give us anything. And he gave a very good example. He's saying some people sit on their sofa and watch cook show होता है ना, वो शेफ्स बनाते हैं, अच्छा खाना बनाते हैं, राइट? सो खूब देखेंगे उसको, वो ये डालो वो डालो, इतना अच्छा खाना बनाया, वो स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा है खाना, लेकिन हम लोग खाएंगे नहीं उसको, तो जाके फिर मूंगफली खा के और ठंडा पानी पी लो. उससे तुमको कुछ एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होने वाला. That is so funny the way he explains. Isn't just watching something or knowing something, that's not going to be fulfilling for us, okay? So he's saying that similarly you can sit and listen to Geeta and say, oh, it's so good and all that, but if you're not going to follow it, nothing is going to happen. That's why I think there is one incident when somebody went to Chinmayanandji and said, Swamiji, I have all your books on my shelf. So he said, tomorrow go and donate it to the library. Because वो खाली shelf पे लेके बैठा था. He was not doing anything. So they're saying, even अपने दिमाग में भी रख लो, वो भी shelf की जैसा ही है. You're not following it. So that's what he was saying, that you need to follow it so that you can experience it. So if you see the cooking show, go and cook in the kitchen, do some mehnat, then you can enjoy the food. And then क्या उससे फायदा होगा? You will become free from all the ashubhat, from evil, because free from sansar. So sansar किसको बोला है? Even भगवान ने बोला ना कि ashashvatam, what were the two words he used? Dukhalay and ashashvatam. It's full of pain and it is full of, it's impermanent. But what very important point that Nikhilanandji brought up, why it is full of sorrow and pain, because we have a wrong relationship with it. That's why. It's our fault only, because sansar means constantly changing, and the results are not in our hand, but we have our expectations and our wrong relationship. So that's why there is a problem, because our attitude towards sansar is not right, and Bhagwan is going to tell us what kind of relationship we should have. And if we have a wrong relationship, he was saying, that creates conflicts in our mind. It creates fear, anger, jealousy, pain, sadness. All these things are negative attitude. Uski wajah se ye hota hai. Or, other thing like sorrow, struggle. And then he was talking about birth and death. And then we have heard this punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Because this sansar comes to an end. And so we have to accept that, otherwise you will always be dukhi. So And then he gave the same example that he has given it many, many times, that it's like the waves and in the ocean who realize, hey, I'm the water, So I don't need to worry about it's not like I'm dying or anything, because I was a water, I'll remain a water. That's how. So all those things come back up. So he's saying that the important thing to know over here is, after we come to know this secret, or after we experience, then only we'll be able to transcend this sansar. Then only there is no other way. जब तक ये नहीं होगा, तब तक we will have all these problems. Okay. So in nutshell, Bhagwan is telling him that I will reveal this secret to you because you are my dear friend, great devotee, and you have this good quality that you don't find faults. And then this is what this whole chapter is going to be about. And Swamiji was explaining to us that whatever Krishna Bhagwan is telling Arjuna, we also have a chance to learn that through Ved Vyas Ji, to our gurus, teachers, and all that, all the Mahatmas, and we have the opportunity to gain the same knowledge. And then in the next verse, he talks about the Mahima of this. Before, dwelling into, hey, what is this knowledge? He tells the glory of this knowledge. And, somebody was saying that we think that we know how to advertise in this 20th century, 21st century. See how Bhagwan advertises his thing. After master advertiser in the next verse that we will see. And then he was just giving an example that anything you do, if you don't know the Mahima of it, you will not gain that, because you will not take it seriously. It's like you go to some Tirth Sthan, or you go to, say, take a dip in Ganga, but if you don't know the Mahima of Ganga, say, oh, jab pani hai koi. And then you will just see the dirt over there. But if you know, then you will go with that bhav and you will get that benefit. So I think that's very important to know the Mahima of somebody, or anything, situation or a place or anything like that. So this is what this verse is about. Any question? Any comment?
No comments, but go ahead. I'm glad you explained about ourselves, the secret that is within us and we don't know.
Yeah.
But the way I understood was, this shouldn't be told to anyone who is not at that level, because they would not understand it. They would not get that. And that's the reason they call it a secret, that it cannot be told to each and everybody.
True. I think that's a good point that you brought. Yeah, I had in my notes, but I didn't mention that's why Bhagwan ne bola na ki main tere ko bata raha hu kyunki you have this quality. So that's a very good point too. So there are both the things are there in this secret.
Yes.
So that, because agar kisi ko misunderstand ho jayega to aur nuksan ho jayega.
Right.
Right. So you have to be ready to, and that's why when you come to the end of the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 18, Krishna Bhagwan says that kisko nahi batana chahiye ye gyan. The one who doesn't have shraddha, doesn't want to listen, doesn't do seva, is not pure in mind, relatively pure, obviously, usko, because aap bata ke dekho un logon ko kitna argue karenge tumhare saath, or also they will
not end, no matter how much you explain.
Exactly.
They're like Arjun, ready to accept and to listen. Arjun was at that point, and therefore Lord Krishna could tell him the secret.
Absolutely. So that very good point. Thank you. Yes. So both ways it is that way. Yes.
Yeah. And from when you say Ashubha, could I take it as completely remove the ignorance from evil? Would you call or not?
Yeah, no, sure, definitely. Because we went through that वो ignorance की वजह से अशुभ हो जाता है. नहीं तो अशुभ है ही नहीं, because how can it be the sansar, like it is part of Bhagwan, So that's why. True, absolutely right. So you can look at it as an ignorance, you can look at it as wrong relationship with the world or anything,
It's not with once you realize, that this body is only a part of the world.
Yeah.
You are not.
Right.
That it removes that part. If you understand, the body is with the with the sansar.
Right.
But you are.
It's like going to somebody gave a very good example. They go and sit near the ocean and they said, these waves look very dangerous. When this stops, when the waves will stop, then I'm going to take a bath in the ocean. That's never going to happen.
Right. Yeah.
So what is the and the other example is, who enjoys the ocean the most? The one, जो सर्फर्स को देखो जाके, सर्फर्स जो है ना, यहाँ पर हमारे घर के सामने वो एक ट्रामलिन बीच है, वहां पे आते हैं वो सर्फर, जितनी बड़ी वेव्स होएगी ना उतना वो एक्साइटेड हो जाते हैं, चलो 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 लेट्स गो देयर. और हम लोग को तो देख के डर लगता है कि हम लोग तो डूब जाएंगे, मर जाएंगे, मगर दे हैव लर्न टू राइड द वेव्स. सो दैट्स द एग्जांपल दे गिव, दैट वेव्स जो संसार में सुबह से शाम तक वेव्स ही आती है हमारी तरफ.
The world is a constant change. So that
Correct.
is like
it's like a roller coaster, it's going to go up and down. So either you learn to enjoy or become a witness,
Yes.
sit apart, so and watch it and say it's not me, so all different ways. You're absolutely right. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other comment, question about this secret? Okay, let's read then. Any volunteers to read? Meena ji, you can read.
To thee who does not cavil, I shall now declare this, the greatest secret, the most profound knowledge combined with experience or realization, which having known, you shall be free from the sorrows of life. In this very opening stanza, Krishna promises that he will be discoursing herein the most profound knowledge along with its realization, because Arjuna is one who is fit for this sacred confidence. In the early days of revolt, there is a compelling necessity for keeping a certain amount of secrecy regarding the philosophy of the revolution.
So that's what he's saying, exactly what you say. In the early days of revolt, it's like, telling a very small child all the, how the rain falls. Okay? So this is an example that Gaurang Bhai used to give, that if it is a 2-year-old, or you tell him, there is an elephant over there, it takes the water in its trunk and then it puts it out, and that's how the rain comes. You're not going to tell him about all the evaporation, and you're not going to understand and appreciate. But once you get mature, then you understand. Exactly same way that you're not going to tell this Brahma Gyan to somebody who has never thought about it, never opened, because you will not understand it. And I still remember my friend who, for first time when we went to the study group, and she said, I went home and I kept saying, I'm not the body. What are they saying? I'm not the body. I am the body. So it took so long to kind of sink in. So in the beginning, you're not going to understand. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Arjuna had been found fit to share this secret knowledge because conversion into a new way of thinking is impossible only for those who have a tendency to carp at the new philosophy. Those who catch at small faults and errors, or who try to make trifling objections and raise false arguments against a philosophy, can never come to judge or evaluate that philosophy rightly, much less become enthusiastic followers of that way of life.
So we know that moment we start bringing unnecessary faults and this and that, we'll never understand. And I can tell you one thing. I have noticed that myself in my life. I don't know if you guys have. The people who are very critical of Vedanta and all that, no, उन्होंने कभी वेदांत को खोल के पढ़ा भी नहीं है. तो फिर वो बिना किसी proof के and all that, ये तो सब nonsense है. Or sometimes, when I don't know if you experiment, when you go to India sometime, and because of this internet, they know a lot about America. So all these people will start having judgment. Oh, वहाँ तो ऐसा होता है जी, लंबा लंबा lecture देंगे. तो हम वहाँ रहते हैं, हमको मालूम है क्या होता है. You don't need to tell us. अमेरिका में ऐसा होता है जी. American government तो ऐसी है जी. Something, you just take a little fact here, little किसी का सुना, किसी का कुछ बोलना शुरू कर दिया. Or they will start criticizing a place. Hey, have you been there? No. Then first go there, experience it. Then you are qualified to say something. So that's what it is,
What would you call, okay, I was just thinking of my own example. When I was working, if something new or new idea came, I was a little hesitant or resistant to that idea. Maybe it's not right. If the old way was working, why are they bringing? Would you call that a carp?
No, I won't call that a carp. You know, thoda doubt aana is fine. And then you ask, hey, can you please tell me that why I should do? See, Krishna Bhagwan, the one great thing in Bhagavad Gita is he says something and he supports it with different arguments and different things. Carping is more like, without knowing something, start finding small faults. And then you waste too much energy.
That's what I mean, because it was new, and because I didn't know in depth the whole thing, I was, no, why are they so doing this way? It was fine before, So after using it, I felt, yes, it is better. But before using it, before the knowledge, it happened that in my mind, I did criticize, having that.
Yeah, but remember, you said that after using it, so you were open to using it. There are people who will shut it completely and say, some nonsense hai, mere ko to sunna hi nahi aage. They'll shut it off.
My dear, I was working. I had to use it.
So majburi ka naam Mahatma Gandhi. So that, yeah. So like sometimes this is what happened. Like we were in some kind of camp, Chinmaya Mission camp. And they have a lunch table and the Swamis are sitting there, from other acharya. And some people are going on and on about sansar and all that. ये हो गया वो हो गया मरो चढ़ो बोलो उन्होंने बोला कि अपने आप जागोगे फिर अगर नहीं सुनते हो हमारे so go and fall into the sansar few times, then you will wake up. And if you think about it, even Arjuna, Krishna Bhagwan was with him before also. They were good friends. But Arjuna was not ready for Brahma Vidya. When did he become ready for Brahma Vidya? When everything fell apart for him. तभी उसने सरेंडर किया. Now, please tell me, Krishna Bhagwan. पहले भी बोल सकता था, hey, Krishna Bhagwan, you're so great. Can you give me Brahma Vidya? No. So until that situation comes sometimes in your life, even हम लोग भगवान को भी तभी दिल से याद करते हैं. जब सब कुछ फेल हो जाता है दुनिया में. When you try this, that, everything fails and say, oh my God, there is some power out there that I need to bow down to and, request and pray and all that. तब वो एकदम से प्रेयर सच्ची वाली निकलती है.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah, but otherwise it is all artificial. Oh, somebody is doing it, that's why I'm going to do it. Yeah. So there are a lot of psychology involved in this. Yeah.
Lord Krishna has discovered Arjuna as one who is really anxious to evolve. Only he wanted help from some quarter to discover in himself an intellectual conviction for the way of life he was to pursue. The Lord says that he will declare the new philosophy to Arjuna, who does not carp or cavil, and the benefit of this knowledge, along with its practical application, has also been indicated in this stanza. Having known which, you shall be free from all the limitation of finite existence.
See what this says? That Arjuna had developed in himself an intellectual conviction. That's what, and then that's why ये 9th chapter तक हम लोग middle of Gita पहुंच गए हैं. शुरू में ही भगवान ने नहीं बोला उसको. बोल सकते थे ना और कि मैं तेको सबसे अच्छा सीक्रेट बताता हूँ. No, ऐसा नहीं बोला भगवान ने. भगवान ने different ढंग से शुरू किया. And then, he brought him to this stage because by now, Arjuna is like, yes, I want to know this now. He's convinced. अब तक वो, because अब तक तो बीच में तो उसने आर्ग्यू भी किया था. Up to 3 and chapter 3 and 4 वो बोल रहा था नहीं भगवान, you are confusing me. कभी आप ये बोलते हो, कभी आप ये बोलते हो. Why you want me to fight? ये है, वो है. He's saying all that. अब इसको समझ में आ गया कि भाई जो भगवान बोलेंगे उससे मेरा बहुत फायदा होने वाला है. भगवान ने एक और उसमें इम्पोर्टेंट चीज डाल दी कि जब तुझे ये पता चलेगा सीक्रेट, you will be free from all limitation of finite existence. That's what bothers us in this world. All these finite existence bother us.
I mean, Arjuna's questions become bigger and bigger.
Slowly. Yes. And we are also like that. In the beginning, it's like we say, this is not for me. तभी तो बोलते हैं, वो बुढ़ापे में करेंगे. अरे बुढ़ापे में करेंगे तब तक तो हमारे पास बुद्धि भी नहीं रह जाएगी करने के लिए. पहले से शुरू करेंगे तभी कहीं जाके होगा. और then फायदा भी उसका किसको होगा? If you are young and you have this, you will be like that surfers. You will be surfing the world with a lot of enthusiasm. Otherwise, you will be crying.
Yeah. An individual becomes incapable of facing the challenges of life and meeting its rising demands because, in his false estimation of things and beings, he comes to live in discord with the total orchestra of life. To understand ourselves and the world outside is to know the secret of keeping a healthy and happy relationship with the world outside. He who is capable of tuning himself up, thus with the total, is the one who is marked out for sure success and complete victory in life.
So this is what we have talked about, and then Nikhilananji had told about this whole thing, that there are three things: us, the world, and the God. What is my relationship with them? And because I have a wrong relationship with, that's why I have all the problems, But if I understand it correctly, the way Bhagwan is explaining, know the secret of keeping a healthy and happy relationship with the world. That's why. So capable of tuning himself to the whole, that's why. That's why, yeah. So everything kind of fits in now.
Because of his internal maladjustments, we found Arjuna, the hero of his age, behaving as a shattered personality in the opening chapter of the Geeta. Such an individual, split in himself, comes to feel the problems of life too heavy, the duties of life too irksome, and the life itself too much to bear. All those who thus allow the life to run over them and crush them down are termed as samsarins. Those who know the art of self-development can easily learn how to direct the engine of existence from the driver's seat safely around every impediment, and they are called the men of realization, the saints, and the sages. This status is the heritage of man, of every intelligent being who has the enthusiasm and the courage to master the life and live like a god upon earth, ruling over the circumstances and smiling at the adversities. The Krishna cure for the Arjuna disease is very systematically prescribed in this chapter.
Very, very beautifully explained, the whole thing. And he gave the example of, driving a car, that when you are on the driver's seat, hey, if you know the road, if you know where you're going, if you know how to manage the car, you will reach your destination. Suppose a guy who doesn't even know how to drive a car and sits behind it. He will crash and then he will blame the car, he will blame the road, he will blame everything. That's what we are doing, he's saying. And that reminds me, how the Sadguru calls it inner engineering. Exactly because of that. Say, hey, Bhagwan has given you all the tools, and you have taken those tools and you are misusing the tool, and then you're screaming. He's giving you the intelligence, he's giving you the emotions and all that. First learn what it is, how to use it, and then you will steer, through the life very, very nicely. So I think
one has to know the goal of life in order to do.
Goal of life and how to use the equipments.
Yeah.
Suppose if you know the goal, but if you don't know how to use, then also you won't reach.
Yeah, but if you have goal, then you will try, with the equipment, the body itself.
Body, mind, and intellect. You will use them correctly.
Of course.
And then Swamiji had a very famous saying. He's saying, if you have a head, you will have a headache. So if you have a headache, then just thank God that you have a head. Because hamari age mein we have all experienced headaches. A body ache or whatever you say. And then I think it was a Sadguru who was saying, I liked his analogy. He said that भगवान ने पेन इसलिए दिया है कि तुम अपना ना बॉडी ठीक ठाक रखो. बिकॉज अगर जैसे नाखून और बालों में पेन नहीं होता, उसको काटो तो राइट? तो बोले उसको देखो कितना लोग काटते पीटते रहते हैं, कुछ कुछ करते रहते हैं, तो अगर तुम्हारे लिम्स में भी अगर भगवान ने पेन नहीं दिया हो तो never thought about it that way. You know, so that's what it is.
One question.
Yeah.
I have one question,
Yeah.
Umaji. So, okay, body, I mean, you can make, but suppose your chemical, your mental makeup is deficient, okay, some hormones or whatever it is, like they always used to ignore the mental issues. But if somebody has those issues, and they learn all this, but still they can't be at peace. So how would you suggest they
see that this is what it is? It's hard to kind of, that's why, you know, this knowledge is not for everybody, that's for sure. And you have to take the bigger picture in everything. Okay, now suppose if you know this knowledge and you go and tell 20 other people, they're going to be in 20 different circumstances in their life. Out of that, maybe one might connect, other 19 for different reasons may not connect, and that's not in our control, you know, because a karmic thing also comes into it. But personally, I think, you know, the way they handle the mental thing these days is not so good. They label and they do all that, you know. Even if somebody has a little bit of issue, instead of trying to resolve it in some kind of a, you know, nice way, you know, tell them they will ye goli le lo, wo goli le lo, aur kharab kar dete hain. You know, for the reason I'm saying that, because, you know, somebody says, okay, I'm feeling anxiety and depression, they won't go to the root of it. Hey, do you have these 6 sharks that they talk about, you know, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya in you? If you continue to sit in that, you will get depressed and you will get anxious. So if you want, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि root से उसको निकालेंगे, I'm not talking about everybody, because some people, you know, have schizophrenia and things like that, God knows what they have to suffer and all that. I'm not talking about that, but if you have a smaller issues, it can be resolved with this kind of knowledge. If somebody is open to it, somebody delivers them properly, if they are receptive to it, you know, and all that. And then, you know, somewhere it's going to come in Bhagavad Gita that when do you connect to this knowledge? जब तुम्हारे पाप थोड़े कम होने शुरू हो जाते हैं, you know. It's like, so this knowledge may not be for everybody, and we can't say that just because it's there, everybody is going to benefit from it. It's like somebody going to college, not everybody is going to graduate. Some people are going to get high marks, some medium, some low, some are going to fail and come back to. So we can try to help people, but in the end, it's their prarabdha, whether they'll get it or not. But in my mind, it can benefit everybody if they are open to it at different levels. That's how I
think that they won't need any medicines? What do you think?
No, I won't say that, because if there's a truly imbalance, chemical imbalance, but sometimes a situation happens that unko kitni bhi dawaiyan do, they still don't get better. Then what you're going to do? Yeah. You know, you can try to balance their chemicals and then give them this, you know. So it's like a personalized thing. What is going to work for one may not work for the other. But this knowledge definitely has value, because if you think about it, the entire Bhagavad Gita is teaching you how to manage your mind. Think about it. You know, they call it Arjuna disease is nothing but he has a nervous breakdown. What they call in today's world nervous breakdown. And the symptoms were exactly like a nervous breakdown. He had sweat all over his body. You know, dil dhadakne lag gaya uska, rongte khade ho gaye. You know, he started feeling hot, like feverish. Uske haath se uska dhanush gir gaya. You know, and he was the greatest dhanushadhar. That's nervous breakdown. He can't even hold his weapon in his hand. He's a fighter. So it is, Arjuna disease is a psychological disease. And somebody was saying that Krishna Bhagwan is the greatest psychiatrist in the world. Why? Because he took the guy who was completely had a nervous breakdown in 700 verses, would khada ho gaya leke. You know, so if somebody goes systematically through Bhagavad Gita, there is a great chance. But then, like Meena ji was saying, unfortunately, it is a little deep gyan and not everybody may connect to it. So we can just pray that people do connect. That's all. And then we should be happy we are connecting, I would say. We are finding value in it.
Thank you.
Umaji, there is one sentence that you mentioned about the surfer. All those who thus follow the life to run over them and crush them down are termed as samsarians. And that's when you said the surfers know how to ride the waves.
Mm-hmm.
And that just fits in your example with this, whatever they're saying exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's happening.
And then I think it was Tejomananji who said that comment. It was a really good one. He said that when we say, no, there are problems in life or there are this. So he said, no, actually there are no problems in life. There is only situations in life. Because if there is a situation and you find how to find a solution, it's not a problem anymore. But you try to find a wrong solution, then obviously it's going to be a problem. But if the world is there, body is anitya, this whole world is impermanent and all that, then if you accept that, there's no problem. In fact, we used to discuss that what is the word grief means. Because this is used a lot in Bhagavad Gita, that get over the grief. Grief is, with this kind of Vedantic analysis, something that is naturally going to take place in this world because of the nature of impermanency, you don't want to accept it. Then you get grief. If you go with the flow, you don't get the grief. So, like, I'll give you an example. There was one guy who won the gold medal in Olympics, it seems, and usko koi kuch cancer ho gaya, and he was very, very sick. So somebody was interviewing him and he said, don't you get upset that, why did this happen to you? You're such a great man and, you achieved all these things. So he gave a very good example. He's saying, I can ask the same way, why did I get the gold medal? Why me? Because मुझे gold, इतने सारे लोग हैं उसमें से मुझे मिला, तब तो मैंने ऐसे नहीं बोला. So why would I say that now? I mean, it's a world, it's body. Sometimes it can happen. God knows the karmic thing you can say, whatever you can say. So that's what grief is, when we don't accept changes in the world that are going to naturally occur. And then Bhagwan ko bhi hum log blame karenge. Why me? Why Bhagwan did this? Hey, Bhagwan didn't do anything. Your own karmas did it. You just don't remember. And if it is, well, it's fine. It's like one of the saints was saying, at the most क्या होगा, मर ही जाएंगे. तो लेकिन हम लोग को बोला तुम अमर हो, तो फिर मर भी जाएंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? But it's difficult.
But you have the understanding who's going to die and what is not going to die is you. You're not dying.
Exactly.
So once you understand, then you're free.
Then you feel free. Yes. Because the biggest fear is of dying. But if you get over that fear, then other fears are not, they're small. Mm-hmm. They're small. Yeah. You won't worry about them. Yeah. Okay. Any other question, comment, discussion? Anybody want to add anything? Okay. All right, then I'll close Bhagavad Gita. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम. Next verse is very, very nice. I love the next verse when we do it next week.